welcome to the Ashburton Grove. If you love Arsenal content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and get in the comments with your thoughts on the Arsenal-Chelsea game. Obviously, that ended in a 1-1 draw at the Bridge. We've all had a chance to sleep on it, have a little think, reset ourselves. Brian, I'm going to come to you first because me and Mark had a chance to touch on it briefly last week. But how confident were you going into this game first?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Really excited to be part of this channel. I was fairly confident. I knew we weren't going to lose. I knew that. I mean, we had just slapped around Bayern. We took Spurs to the woodshed. I wasn't worried about it. I thought we were going to come out of there with a win, but I'm perfectly happy coming out of there with a point. We didn't step on our cranks. We fought a lot harder than we probably should have, but I'm fine with a point out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same. It's a good point. I agree. I didn't think we'd come out of there with a loss. And I said to Mark, I'll take a point now. That was what was that, last Thursday? Mark, you was very confident going into that game.
Yeah, do you know what I was? And that was before Saliba's injury.
Yeah.
I was confident, 100%. We're wiping the floor with every team in Europe and also the Premier League. And a Chelsea side that's been relegated 6 times does not scare me even the slightest. And by the way, Chelsea, if you're watching, anyone wants to join the chat, you still face the charges, by the way, from when Abramovich actually cheated his way to get some kind of glory on the go for you guys. And that's not sour grapes. I'm sure we'll touch on a few of the sour grapes that I actually do have. But do you know what? Man City are still 5 points behind us. Chelsea 6 points behind. I just think Arsenal are that amazing, Sean. At this moment in time, I wouldn't take a draw against Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Why would I do it at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? And that's my feelings, mate.
No, it's fair. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of us were probably a bit hurt by that Saliba injury. Brian, would you
here's one thing too that we have to consider about the table. Chelsea and City have not played each other yet.
No,
so they're going to beat up on each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they play early January. I don't know if they played. They play early January, so that means they've got to play them twice next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's huge. That could be huge. So, Mark, going back to you, how and why do you think Chelsea were able to nullify us?
Because they've done the same thing. Again, I was going to come on here and give praise to Chelsea for 10 men in their performance. However, after reflecting on it and actually having a deeper thought, I actually realised one thing in common, that 2 teams this season that have drawn against Arsenal are both candidates to constantly go up and down the league in relegation teams. So they can't actually come out and play football against Arsenal. So what they have to do is try and kick Arsenal off the football pitch. The 2 teams are Sunderland and Chelsea. And like, I'm not lying on that, Sean. These two teams have been relegated more than they've won Premier League titles. So so they came out with the agenda knowing that they cannot go toe-to-toe with Arsenal and play football. So what they're going to do? What they're going to do is they're going to have a small Argentinian guy that is probably just provoked a fan base or 2 fan bases into some kind of violence on the next visit, which will be at the Emirates, by the way, Chelsea. Yeah. So welcome to that. And you can thank Enzo for that. By that time, Havertz and Gabriel will be back in the side. So there's a fair chance that Enzo might end up in like Zone Z at the Emirates. No, I'm absolutely Sean. Honestly, do you know what I like? If you want to play Arsenal physical, play us physical. If you want to play us at football, play us at football. Bayern Munich, all these teams have been doing it, and they're getting nowhere. And it's not sour grapes that we've taken a point. It's not the end of the world for me that we've taken a point from Stamford Bridge. It is the fact and the way that they approach the game. It is, mate, it's absolutely disgusting. £2 billion. Todd Bowles gave you £2 billion, and your manager sets you up to kick Arsenal off the playing field. Come on.
Yeah. No,
Seriously?
I actually fully agree with that, to be fair, Mark. That's a really good. It's their game plan was very. I mean, they did dominate. I don't say dominate. They were in more control than we were in that first phase before the red card. But I think social media definitely has made out that they were way, way, way better than us, and I don't think there was that level there. They had the advantage, they had the home advantage, and in my head, I said to you guys, if we get to half time 0-0 here, they're going to tire out. We're going to get them in the second half. Brian, what about you? Dad, do you think Chelsea? Do you agree? Do you think Chelsea had a different tactic to try and nullify us? What stopped us from dominating that game?
No, I mean, it's the old tactic everybody uses about kicking the shit out of Arsenal. It almost looked like they kind of wanted it more, but I mean, again, that could be just because of the physicality. And you and I were talking earlier. Chelsea has one of the smallest pitches in the Premier League, and so you're not going to be able to get a lot of room anyway. But yeah, I think they were well penalized for the most part. As far as that red card for Caicedo, that there shouldn't have even been a question. Like, Anthony Taylor, what are you looking at there, dude? But I think also that he almost lost control of the game, handing out yellow cards like they were breath mints, in the first part of that game. But it could have been a lot worse. Nobody got injured. Everybody had fun. I'll take a point.
Yeah. So you touched on that, the yellow cards and the ref. I think he really impacted how we wanted to play that ref, and that referee kind of played the game Chelsea wanted to play. He was reffing for Chelsea, in my view. I think there were so many cards for us. I think that the ref made our players worry too much about getting sent off themselves for a second yellow. And you could see the Chelsea players trying to get that ridiculous. Like, I mean, the manager at the end of the game, what's their name? Chelsea's manager, it said Hincapié should have been sent off. For what? What is it? Because he jumping up to head of the ball like anyone does, and he caught with an elbow. But like, that's how you jump. He out jumped you. That's why your elbow was by his elbow was by your face. But you say he managed it fairly. I don't agree.
So I think at the beginning he didn't. I think.
Do you know that Chelsea had one yellow card that game?
Wait, that's it?
Yeah, Cucurella was the only yellow card.
Do you know what? I just see
you have to be making that up.
No, that's right. See, one thing I noticed during the game, Sean, and it actually ties in beautifully. At the time watching the game, I actually felt that the Arsenal team did not have the confidence in our two centre backs.
Yeah.
As they would if it had been Saliba and Gabriel.
Oh yeah.
But however, our centre backs were all on yellow cards. So there is a mixture of the team panicking a bit and saying we need to protect these guys, and also Anthony Taylor with the yellow cards. Now, with the yellow cards that were getting thrown around, you would think we were the aggressors in this game.
Yeah.
And we were not the aggressors at all.
Yeah.
We were far from that, Sean. So I agree. I think Anthony Taylor actually set his stall out. It was the most yellow cards in any Premier League first half this season so far.
Yeah. I mean,
and they were all mostly given to Arsenal.
Let's not forget, I don't think he was, if there was no VAR intervention or the third official, I don't think he's given that yellow. He's not even given a yellow card to Caicedo there, by the way.
You said
he
that.
Gave that yellow card. He gave that yellow card because he was told to buy some time.
Yeah, Sean, you said that in our group chat. You actually said that. It's like Anthony Taylor's forgot to book Caicedo here.
Yeah.
Because he's played on. And then Bars intervened and then pulled it back. and then eventually we got the correct decision for what is a horrendous tackle.
Yeah. 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 I really like, I hate blaming the refs, and I don't blame the ref that we didn't get the win because we didn't play well enough. But he did referee that game for Chelsea. It was like I couldn't believe it when I looked at the end and saw Cucurella as the only person with a card other than the red.
That's like that. That's why I'm flabbergasted about it.
Yeah.
Like I saw the game. You know, like I saw what was going on, and
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, like I know we've said a lot of times that, you know, there is kind of an unconscious bias, you know, against Arsenal or against an away team, you know, whoever it may be. And like, I've never seen Anthony Taylor, you know, have, you know, oh, the F Arsenal situation like Michael Oliver does.
Yeah.
You know, but given that there was only one yellow card shown to Chelsea, yeah, I think he kind of had a shot there then.
Yeah. I've got a little clip here. I'm going to play it quickly of Enzo Fernandez Cucurella on Madueke when he came on. Like, and this is something that gets passed on. You know, this is like a little clip here. So you got him in the middle. They both turn and shout. I don't know what they're screaming in his face. It'll cut to a slow mo here. You don't even see the ball. Where's the ball? Bang. Full on kicks him as hard as he can. And then he has the cheek to then turn around, Cucurella and Enzo, scream in his face something. Don't know what. And then move on. And when and how has this weird thing with Chelsea players and Arsenal happened? Like, where's the beef come from that suddenly Chelsea players can't stand Arsenal players? Where is that created from?
I think it's came from the manager. I think the manager set them up to say, listen, we're not able to open up and play football against Arsenal, or we're going to get an absolute doing here. So therefore, the only way that we're going to get anything from them and win this game is be physical and over physical. And it's exactly what it was. And it really was exactly what it was, Sean. Honestly, that clip is disgusting. This guy used to share a dressing room with you. He used to share a dressing room with you guys.
Any bad terms.
And then you're doing that to him.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even in Arsenal. Like, it's not even going to Arsenal. And you're kicking him like that. You tried to upgrade, and unfortunately, you were incapable of upgrading on Madueke, and he's came to Arsenal. So it's just like, it's everything about that football club. Everything about that football club. And Sean, and I'm serious. I dropped this in the group chat. I'll let Brian come through on it, but I dropped it in the group chat. Seriously, I never wish injury on any player bar two. Rodri, Man City, when he got his ACL, it was a brilliant ACL day for me. It was the best ACL day ever for me. Enzo, I am praying every single day until you get that ACL. But guess what? See, if you don't get that ACL, you have to come to the Emirates. And Gabriel or Havertz is going to put you in Rosette. And then, or Madueke is going to scream out and blow up a red balloon right in front of your face, and that'll be absolute karma for me. It will be absolute karma for me. That is disgusting.
It almost seems personal. That almost seemed personal. And
100.
And my question, I don't remember, exactly what happened during the Club World Cup, but I feel like I read somewhere where Madueke punched out of the final for the Club World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And if he did, if he did, I could be misremembering, but with Enzo having the armband, that could really pissed him off, and not justifying that. But if I had somebody, even if I wasn't the captain of a side, but if I had somebody that wasn't giving 100% for the badge until they were gone, and especially punching out of a final like that, whatever our opinions of the Club World Cup may be, yeah, I'd be kind of pissed at him too. Again, that doesn't justify what Enzo did. And I hope the power goes out in his house and all the food in his refrigerator spoils. But yeah, like that was beyond the pale for me.
Yeah. I mean, Caicedo is the same. He's like it every time he plays Arsenal. He I think he's really hurt by the fact we didn't sign him in the end. And he seems to just come in with that, because he's an aggressive player as it is, but he always looks like he's going to get a red card when he plays us. He has that extra, like he's got to prove a point, like you should have bought me kind of attitude. And then he does a challenge like that. And I'm pretty sure in the last time we played him, he should have been sent off for multiple yellow card offences, but he never gets it. Cucurella's the same. Man, how he didn't get 2 yellows in that game is and he does it so much.
Like I don't know why. I just really, really hate Cucurella.
Yeah, so
I hate that. Like his hair annoys me.
He should have to tie that shit up.
Huh?
He should have to tie that shit up. Like the women have to tie their hair up. Why does he not have to tie that shit up?
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, you're not as good as like you're not as good as you think you are. Like I remember whether it was last year or year before last. I think when we gave him the 5-1 or whatever it was, Ben White basically like threw him to the ground in the goal mouth, and it's both coming from Brighton. Yeah, you ain't shit, dude. You ain't shit.
Yeah. So that is their game plan. They came to have a fight. The ref backed them, and it nullified us. Annoyingly, I don't think that game plan is going to work every time. The yellow cards had a big impact, but me personally, and Mark touched on it earlier, I think the biggest issue we had is Saliba not being there. I can't remember the last time we didn't have both our starting centre backs. I think it stopped us being able to play out from the back as well. We lost that confidence, and it meant because we lost that confidence playing out from the back, we didn't have Saliba or Gabriel. It just killed that momentum going forward and getting into the midfield. And I kept saying that the passing just was not there yesterday. And I think that all comes from not having both of those, albeit Hincapié and Mosquera, they conceded 1 goal at the Bridge in their first game together, and it was a set piece. There was no open play goals here. There was no mistakes. It was just an unfortunate game, which by the way, apparently that there's been some things about their goal. Apparently it could have been offside. I don't know if you've seen that.
I saw that, and
Sky Sports touched on it now as well.
I mean, yeah, I guess my understanding of the laws of the game need to get a little bit better, but I thought it had to be like 15 different sets of circumstances to be offside on a corner. Like you're kicking the ball literally from the line.
It's from the touch from the goal scorer. So the corner kicks come in, and Chalobah's then headed it, and when he's headed it, Enzo's in an offside position, and the call is, if they go to head the ball or try to make contact with the ball, then that's deemed offside. And by doing that, they're then dragging a player, a defender, Mosquera, out of position where he may have been able to be on the goal line and heading it off the goal line. But because he's now marking or doesn't know what to do because this player's in an offside position kind of thing. Yeah, it's a bit of a I don't know, it's 50-50 for me.
And that kind of goes to the Van Dijk goal that Liverpool had a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was saying, because whoever it was like right. Yeah. Was it City? Like you know what I'm talking about?
City. Yeah. When Robertson ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like horrendous. That was a horrendous decision, honestly. That was one of the worst. But see if I just come back to Enzo and also Caicedo. See, the one player that I also don't like, but I actually really do respect, Sean, is Bruno Guimaraes for Newcastle.
Yeah.
But I do respect him. He comes in really hard and he fights and he's a winner, etc. See, what I saw yesterday was absolutely the opposite of that. It was vile, mate. It was really vile for me.
I don't know. There was that Guimaraes elbow to Jorginho for
Yeah.
no reason.
No, that should have been picked up on as well. But I still think, like, yeah, do you know what? You are going to get better at that in games, and I could take a bit of physicality. But that yesterday for me was, it was,
Mark, it wasn't a football game.
it wasn't. It
was hard
wasn't.
to watch.
It was almost like American rugby. That's the
Mm.
way I would put it down. American rugby. We shouldn't shin pads. Our players should have had shin pads and helmets on to get us through that game. It was just short. It wasn't enjoyable to watch. I honestly, I was going to come on tonight and like praise Chelsea, 10 men, being able to put in that kind of performance and fair play. And then I'm seeing slow-mos of what Enzo's done and stuff, and I can't praise him, mate. I genuinely can't. I find it disgusting, like the way that they've set up, the way that they've went about the game, etc. And what have you got out the end of it? Like, you are not going to catch Arsenal. You play Arsenal once more, and it's at the Emirates Stadium. You will not catch us. Your title's over and done with. You're still facing charges because you are up. You are up for against the Premier League for charges that Todd Bowley's showed through your time of trying to cheat from being a relegation candidate into Premier League winners. You're still up for that. Your club's minging. You do have a very horrendous, even Everton have got a better stadium than you. There's nothing good about Chelsea whatsoever. So it's not sour grapes on my part. I'm going to be winning a trophy this season. If it's a Premier League, Champions League, quadruple, it could be the whole lot. You're going to win 0 and almost go bankrupt in the process. So continue, Chelsea. Keep selling off your hotels, your women's team, and all the rest of it, and staying in your relegation stadium, because that's basically what it is. Sean, honestly, I'm disgusted with them. I'm disgusted beyond. Caicedo, Rice even coming into a debate is actually laughable, by the way. The one thing I will say, difference between Caicedo and Declan Rice, one of them is calm under pressure. Mm-hmm. The other one loses his head. Thank God we didn't get him. Thank God we didn't get Mudryk. Thank God we didn't get Caicedo, because we've got calmness to take us to the next level, not somebody losing their head. Mm-hmm. Apologies for my rant.
No, I mean, the one thing I do have to commend, not even Chelsea as a club, but I do have to commend Chalobah yesterday for getting me fantasy Premier League points.
Fair play up.
Before we move on to the Brentford game, I've just got one more thing I wanted to touch on. Man of the match. And this is not something I'm going to do normally. I just wanted to see something. But man of the match for both of you, for both sides.
Oh, okay. I could give Arsenal's first, right off the top of my head. Hincapié, I thought he was absolutely...
Yeah,
he was just... He's Gabriel.
Yeah,
he's younger Gabriel. This guy, I can see his name on the back of my shirt for years to come.
How old is he?
I don't know, mate.
What, 25, I think? 28, 24, 25. He's not super old.
He's not. He's younger
23.
than that.
23.
23, yeah.
Okay.
He's just
24
incredible.
in January.
And do you know what? The man of the match for Chelsea, and I'm going to give him flowers, and I thought that he did do well with Reece James in midfield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like for me, it'd be a little bit easier to do Chelsea first. I would give man of the match to Robert Sanchez.
Yeah,
like he had quite a few good saves, and he's normally not known for that. I'm not going to say that he kept him in the game by any stretch of the imagination, but he made the saves that he needed to make.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as we went, I mean, I'd probably have to get it to Merino. Just being in the right place at the right time. He's I wouldn't even say he's sneaky good anymore. Being at the number 9 or being the false 9. Like we definitely see it. I think the league is starting to see it as well. Mm-hmm. But he scored the goal, and so for me, you really can't go anywhere else.
Yeah,
for a man of the match for him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Chelsea. For me, it's either Chalobah or Sanchez, and for Arsenal, it's between Marino, Rice, and Hincapié. And the reason I wanted to say the Chelsea one is because I just wanted to see who you'd say. So we've gone with what, 2 goalkeepers, a defender, and a right back playing midfield. And what does that say about the game for you? Is how well we were going forward, that their best players was their defence and goalkeeper. They didn't dominate the game, I think, like people want to make out. And I think considering we had a terrible game, we still went to the bridge and got a point, which says a lot, even with 10 men.
Do you know what, Sean? You're on the back end of 3 massive games. This is something that people don't understand as well. And I know Chelsea had them, but probably not as emotionally as Arsenal did. We played Tottenham, Bayern Munich, and then had to go to Chelsea. We also played our Champions League game 24 hours after Chelsea did.
Yeah.
So we had 1 day less to recover coming out of it. So, I'm not making excuses for the performance. I think we were poor, Sean. And when I say poor, I mean by our standards. Yeah. I just think that we were jaded. We looked jaded and not fully recovered and fully at it. So that for me, that's kind of the context behind it, Sean, for me.
Mm-hmm. But then I think it also has to go back to what we were, what we've been talking about the whole time. Chelsea came out kicking us. And so, yes, you have the fatigue from the games and from, the super emotional games. But there's only so much you can do against a team that is literally out there to kick you off the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Mark.
It just seems a way that, if you want to get to Arsenal just now, that this is a way that you've got to play, and it's credit to us.
Yeah. I mean, sitting back and doing a low block's not working anymore, so they've got to find something else.
You've got to find something else. You can't open up against us. If you open up, you're going to get a Bayern Munich, you're going to get an Atletico Madrid, you're going to concede goals like there's no tomorrow. So try your next thing, and that is bailing Arsenal off the pitch. And good luck with that, because we've got certain players that are going to be coming back from injury, and they'll love this. One of them's Brazilian, and he's an absolute nutcase. Another one's German, and he loves it. He loves that physicality. So keep bringing it. Keep bringing it.
Yeah. So moving on, we've got Brentford at home on Wednesday. Mark, go to you. Are you going to would you want to see any changes to that starting 11 for that game? And I say this looking forward to we have Villa away at the weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely. We do need to make changes. The question is Saliba going to be back? That's a burning question. We're going to have to make changes. Timber, Calafiori, we cannot keep playing these guys after the injuries that they've had. So we certainly centre defence. I think that we have to. It's Mosquera and Hincapié. Without a doubt, that's going to have to happen. Zubimendi, Rice, I think they'll be good to go. And maybe drop Eze and give him just a breather. Have him on the bench, bring in Odegaard just for minutes. Odegaard's brilliant, so it's not a massive drop off. Martinelli, I can start again, and maybe even, I know that he's not going to do it, but I'd maybe look at Saka and put in Nuno, just because Saka's had some injuries recently as well. And these minutes are just piling up. And then Gyökeres for Mourinho up top. I think that's possibly the route I would go with it. But I don't know if that's too many changes, Sean. I don't know if Arteta is likely to make these kind of changes. But for me, I just want to protect my players. Do you know what? I just want to get to a point coming into this busy period where the squad is back and it's healthy, and we're not playing the same players 90 minutes. So I'd be kind of concentrating on the injury, the players that have had recent injuries, etc., and just giving them a bit of a breather.
Yeah,
Sean,
I
for
agree,
me.
mate. Brian?
Yeah, I would rotate as much as possible for Brentford. I would try and minimum. Let me think. I would do going across the back line, right to left. I would do White, Mascara, Hincapié, and probably MLS. Across the midfield, I'd put Odegaard in at the right 8. Have him start building up some minutes. Maybe bring him off in the 60th minute. I would put Zubamendi at the 6 and then Rice at the left 8 just to keep his body going.
Yeah.
I would put Madueke on the right. I would put Gabby on the left, and I'd put Gyökeres up top.
Basically the same as me.
Yeah. I mean,
It's pretty
so
much the same as me.
yeah, I would love to see this amount of changes. Arteta never does them. I can't see him doing them. But for the big one for me is Calafiori. I do not want to see him on that pitch on Wednesday. He's one yellow card away from a ban, and if he is not there for Villa away, I'm not going to be happy. So I do not want to see that man on the pitch. Timber needs the rest as well. He's had a big ACL a couple of years ago now. He needs the rest. You don't want to. He's best right back in the world, right? Let's keep it that way. I think Hincapié and Mascara definitely will both play, and I don't think it's a bad thing for them to keep building a relationship. Them two, and Saliba will probably most likely, from what I've heard, be back. He could be back for this game, but he's definitely going to be back for Villa. I've also heard Gabby's only 2-3 weeks away, by the way, so he's back.
That's good.
Hopefully before Christmas.
For Hincapié and Mascara, it's not only important for them to build the partnership between the two of them, it's important to build the partnership with the midfield too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you saw that it was off just slightly yesterday. I just felt I don't know. That was one of the things that I was picking up yesterday. Mascara kind of looked a bit. He wasn't as calm as what he has been when he came in for Saliba and he had Gabriel beside him. I kind of felt at times. Maybe I was just watching too much to them, but I just felt that positioning was slightly just wrong. And I kind of felt that the nervousness was in the midfield, and that kind of generated into the rest of the team as well. I could be wrong with that, but it was just I was watching the two because I really want to see how they go on. I really want to see how they go on, but I thought last night Hincapié just captured that a bit more than what Mascara did.
Yeah. I think Hincapié is a bit of a level above Mascara. Mascara's a little bit younger too, isn't he? He's 21. But yeah, I wouldn't be against Norgard starting on Wednesday, by the way, and giving.
Yeah,
I completely forgot we had Norgard.
I
completely forgot about that dude.
I can't. You know what? I actually can't see like Arteta making the kind of changes. But you're right. Norgard could come in. Guess his own club. That'd be fantastic. And Reece Nelson can't play for them either because he's on loan. So
Has he been playing for them?
I don't know if he has or not. I've not watched much of Brentford, to be honest.
I mean, they're falling very up and down. Sorry, Mark.
I checked the result, and they scored 2 away goals to be Burnley 3-1 at the weekend. I think it was 81 or 82 minutes and then 90 plus minutes, like the third goal went in. But yeah, I mean, they've lost a lot of players and stuff, and I think we've got more than enough to be able to get a result against them. So changes are a must, Sean, for me. And I pray Arteta actually does do it.
Yeah, that Villa away game coming up this weekend is huge. So if we can get 3 points there as well. But I mean, this is Brentford's form from end of October. They beat Liverpool 3-2, lost to Palace away 2-0, won at home to Newcastle 3-1, lost away to Brighton 2-1, and won at home to Burnley 3-1. So they're winning at home, they're losing away.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. They don't travel well, so It's an opportunity. And the thing is, and Brian made a brilliant point, and the main point when he was on about Odegaard is that if you have a player on, and with the bench that you've got, you can take your big guns off the bench after 60 minutes and change the game.
Absolutely. It's the sort of game I think we could kill quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either a case of the two ways of doing it. You either play your big guns for the first 60 minutes and then take all them off, or you bring them off the bench to go and do that. But for me, I'd bring the big guns off the bench in the last 30 minutes if they're needed. That's the way I would look at that. And we'll have to be given minutes to Ethan and also McDonough as well. I'm not saying this is a foregone conclusion, but this is a game that we could wrap up pretty early and then try and give rest to players. I'm not underestimating Brentford, but they're not the same Brentford as last year. They've lost players.
Don't forget Max Down's got school on Thursday.
Oh, right enough, yeah.
He's got to get his homework done, sign the permission slip for that night.
Yeah, I could write a note in and give him the sickie. I'm sure that none of these teachers are watching Sky Sports.
Well, here's one thing we have to remember about Brentford. We're kind of focused right now on what we can do against Brentford. They have Igor Thiago, and Igor Thiago is a stud at the number 9. Like he's second in the Golden Boot right now. Yeah. He did come off with an injury on Saturday, Sunday, whenever the hell the game was.
Sunday.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He came off in like the 80th minute or something like that. And Brentford hadn't said anything about his status yet. Yeah, I mean, we gotta watch out. We gotta watch out for him. I mean,
100%.
All the attacks are going to be funneled through him because he's their guy, but he doesn't suck. And so we don't want to overlook him. He's in my
football fantasy of team. So
I nearly put him in, but I didn't.
Yeah, I've got him up there. He's in my team.
So, is it safe to say you're both very confident going into this game that we're going to leave with all 3 points?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd say 75 to 80%. That's just the part of me that is always worried about us doing something to screw something up. But as far as as far as being confident, I'm more confident than not.
Yeah, I think the attack at home is going to be way too strong for him. We've got pretty much everyone back now, bar Trossard, who could be back as well, by the way. Trossard, they're not worried about him, are they?
No.
So we've got the full strength except for Havertz. I mean, I can't believe Gabby Jesus is back before Havertz, but there it is. I may even see him. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him at the 60th minute, get 30 minutes in his legs and see if he can still play football or run. At least
do you know what? That'd be fantastic to have Jesus. I think that he might have something for us before the end of the season.
I hope so. I really hope so, and I hope he gets a brilliant move in the summer. He's been brilliant for Arsenal. It's just unfortunate with injuries, but it's someone that I really would like to see. Mm-hmm. I'd really like him to get some minutes, get games, and get a Premier League title medal around his neck. I'm not sure how many games that you have to get for that. Is it 8? 5.
Is it 5 or 8 or something like that?
Yeah, between 5. It might be 5.
Get him a legit Premier League medal where it wasn't bought with 115 charges.
Yeah, 100%. So it would be good. Yeah, I would like to see him at some point.
What are your match predictions? Final scores for the Brentford game?
3-0 Arsenal.
3-0. Brian?
I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1. I hope not, because I'm going to be in the ground and I don't want that. Nerve-wracking.
You know what? They don't ask how you got the points. They ask how many points you got.
That's true. So it's 5, by the way. 5 Premier League appearances.
Is that right? Okay.
Can we bring Tierney back for 5 games?
No. before we kick off, that we've covered that. I've had a lot of thoughts lately. I don't know about you guys, but we're winning the Premier League by 5 points. City are there, and I'm trying not to let them get to me like they have for 2 seasons prior in chasing me. So I'm trying to look at this season in a different way, how I normally do, and looking at other teams and what they're doing and how they're chasing us. Like, so it's 2 points caught by City, but between international breaks, that's 1 point gained from us on City. I'm also trying to look at it in this 19 games and our average point. Briefly touched on it in our group chat, but like if we was to lose one more game in the next 6 and win the rest, we're on 45 points, which is a 90-point average, and 85 points for me wins the league. I don't know if you think it'll be more or less.
I think it could be possibly less, Sean. But do you know what I'm doing, mate? I normally do what you're doing, and this season I am not doing it. I am just calm, and I'm not thinking about it. I'm not getting ahead of myself. It's one game at a time.
Yeah.
It's 3 points, and I'm really trying to
Yeah,
process that because I do this every season, mate, and it's almost like a Liverpool where you're like fall off that cliff at the end. So I'm trying not to do that to myself this year.
I'm just doing it a little bit different this year. I'm just not looking at City. I'm just looking at us and what we need to get. And if we was to win every game up until that Villa at home at 19 games, we'd be on 48 points, which is what, a 96-point average season. We would be on for 96 points, which gives us like a leeway of like 5, 6 losses in the second half of the season. We could still go on to win. Like if we win our next 6 games, I think it's done. I generally do. I think it's done.
Yeah, but sure, this could be reality. I actually think, see, last season, Liverpool won the league, but if you actually look at the context of why Liverpool won the league and the injuries that Arsenal had, I don't think Liverpool would have done that. But I think Arsenal are going to do that this year. Yeah. I think it's the exact same thing. I don't. Do you know what? We've lost 1 game and drew 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and we're not even playing. We spoke in the preview show, and sorry, I need to let Brian come through. We spoke in the preview show about levels, and the levels are still not there for Arsenal.
Yeah, Walcott said it in the post-match, didn't he? He said that there's still levels for Arsenal to go.
100% there is. But let's Brian come through. Sorry, Brian.
So I don't want to project out points. I don't want to project out points, you know. Like I feel like I'm talking for them. It's like I just want to take 1 game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if we start projecting out and, you know, we start talking all sorts of shit on X, Facebook, whatever, and then it comes out that we collapse in the second half. I ain't trying to listen to that bullshit for the entire summer. You know, but looking ahead to our fixtures, you know, up until the end of the calendar year, you know, let's assume we get 3 points against Brentford. Like I'm okay with that. You know, then we have Villa away. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty tricky. Plus, Emi Martinez, he's just annoying as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
I hate him.
But then we've got Wolves at home, and they are god awful. Like just awful. We got Everton away. They're not as good as what they've been showing. You know, I've said before, you know, I think they are getting more of a home field advantage than they would have because of their new stadium. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we can go in there and get points.
It's a bogey team that though, isn't it, for us?
Huh?
They're a bogey team when we play them away.
They have been. But our teams in the past also have not been as good as the team we have right now. You know, I think the more experience Arteta gets under his belt, I mean, you know, he's been with us, 5 years now at this point, 5, 6 years, something like that. Mm-hmm. And he is still constantly learning and constantly gaining the experience to be able to go into these tough places and, you know, kind of kind of shake off those shake off the difficulties, and not have teams be bogey teams for us.
True.
See, Sean, see, the thing is, and people were probably not realising, but see, if you can't win a game, you make sure you don't lose it, and
Yeah,
that is
we're
a
doing
champion. That's a champion right there.
Yeah.
And if you look at the only game we've lost this season, it's been a wonder free kick.
Mhm.
That is it. We are 1/3 through the Premier League season, and we've lost one game to a wonder free kick. If he hit that another 100 times, would he score even like 10% of the time? No, he wouldn't.
No.
So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm calm with Arsenal. I'm calm. Arsenal are making me calm this year.
Yeah,
Really,
good.
really calm.
I'll keep talking to you, Mark, for my calmness.
Then please do, bro. Please do.
So I think we'll leave it there. Obviously, that's the Brentford preview. Spoken Chelsea. Obviously, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, follow our pages, and we'll see you after the Brentford game. Cheers, Mark. Cheers, Brian. Up the Gunners.
Up the
Come
Arsenal.
on, you Gunners.